Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Liv Morgan was involved in a heated backstage interaction following Raw this week. She may have found her and Raquel Rodriguez's first challengers for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. The Judgment Day duo ran into Alpha Academy and Natalya, who were having a chat of their own. In a bid to turn her in-ring struggles around, Maxa and Dupree asked Natty if she could train at her and TJ Wilson's dungeon. Morgan overheard this and proceeded to take a shot at Dupree. The former women's world champion mentioned how she worked hard to improve, before stating that Maxine wouldn't be able to do it. Liv also told the 27-year-old star to quit wrestling. It is safe to say Maxine Dupree will not be quitting. This backstage segment looks likely to lead to a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match between the two sides. Dupree and Natalya could be set to challenge Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the title. It was a cold night in Brooklyn, New York, and the energy in the arena after Monday Night Raw was palpable. The crowd had just witnessed a high-octane, fast-paced episode filled with all the drama, athleticism, and tension the WWE Universe had come to expect. But as the cameras cut off and the lights dimmed, the atmosphere backstage shifted from electric excitement to palpable tension. Liv Morgan, one of the brightest stars of WWE's women's division, was leaving the ring after an exhilarating match. Her heart still raced from the adrenaline, her body sore from the punishment it had endured in the ring. She was still smiling as she walked through the narrow hallways of the backstage area, making her way to the locker room. But before she could even catch her breath, she noticed someone. It was Allison Rae, a 27-year-old wrestler who had joined WWE only a couple of years ago. Rae was known for her bold personality and impressive athletic ability, but recently there had been some murmurs about her attitude. Some believed that she had been struggling to find her footing within WWE, and others had started to talk about her lack of discipline and training. Liv had always admired Allison's enthusiasm. When Allison had first come into WWE, there had been a shared bond between them. Both were hungry, driven by a dream, and excited to make their mark in one of the biggest wrestling promotions in the world. But lately, Liv had started to notice something unsettling in Allison's behavior. An air of entitlement, a lack of humility, and a general disregard for the effort and hard work that wrestling demanded. Liv was one of the hardest-working women in the locker room, and she prided herself on pushing the limits of her body and spirit to put on incredible matches. Seeing Allison take shortcuts, relying too much on her natural charisma rather than honing her craft, had begun to rub Liv the wrong way. It wasn't just Allison's recent attitude that concerned Liv. There had been an incident earlier that night, a confrontation that escalated during rehearsals. Liv had caught wind of Allison cutting corners in preparation for her match, not taking the time to review the storyline, not connecting with her opponents the way she should have. Allison had brushed it off with a laugh when Liv had tried to offer advice, dismissing her with the kind of cocky confidence that had started to raise alarms. As the two women crossed paths backstage, the tension was thick. Liv couldn't help but feel her frustration boiling over. She had spent years earning respect, fighting tooth and nail for every opportunity, and here was Allison Rae, a rookie with natural talent, yet with an attitude that seemed to undermine the very essence of what wrestling meant to Liv. "Allison," Liv said, her tone calm but firm as she stopped in her tracks. Allison looked up from her phone, her eyes filled with the cocky spark that Liv had come to dislike. "What's up, Liv?" she said as though she hadn't a care in the world. "I need to talk to you," Liv replied, her voice quiet, but laced with a forceful edge. "Can we step aside?" Allison's face twitched slightly, the smile faltering just for a second. But she didn't hesitate to nod and walk with Liv to a quieter corner of the arena's backstage area. There, away from the hustle of the crew and the chatter of fellow superstars, the two women stood in silence for a moment. "You need to understand something," Liv began, her gaze steady as she looked Allison in the eyes. "Wrestling isn't a joke. It's not something you just show up and expect to get by on talent alone. This business, this industry, is built on sweat, blood, and tears. You've got to earn it. Allison, visibly annoyed, folded her arms. I know how hard this business is, Liv. You don't need to tell me what it's like to work hard. Liv exhaled sharply. Then why are you acting like you don't care? Why are you cutting corners? I've seen it, Allison. Tonight, I saw it. And I'm not the only one. We've all seen it. Allison's posture shifted, a defensive energy rising in her. I'm not cutting corners, Liv. I'm doing things my way, okay? Maybe you should stop judging me and focus on your own matches. Liv clenched her jaw. I'm not judging you. I'm trying to help you. You have a lot of potential. But if you keep going down this road, you're not going to last in this business. I've seen it happen too many times before. Talent is one thing, but heart and dedication are what keep you here. The words seemed to hit Allison like a cold wave. For a moment she was silent, her eyes darting to the ground as though trying to gather her thoughts. Liv could see the internal struggle behind her eyes, the pride, the stubbornness, and the fear. I don't need advice from you, Liv. I'm doing just fine. Allison finally snapped, her voice laced with a tone of defiance. I don't need anyone to tell me how to do my job. Liv shook her head. That's where you're wrong, Allison. This isn't about telling you what to do. It's about giving you a wake-up call before it's too late. You've got everything it takes to be a champion. You've just got to stop acting like you've already made it. Allison's eyes widened with disbelief. So what, you want me to just quit? Is that what you're telling me? To give up? Liv's voice softened, but there was a fire in her words. No. I'm telling you to take a long, hard look at yourself and decide if this is really what you want. Because if you're not willing to put in the work, if you're not willing to respect the business, then maybe you should quit. Maybe this isn't the place for you. For a moment, the two women stood in silence. Allison's face flushed with anger, her chest heaving slightly as her emotions took over. Liv could tell that the words had stung, but it was the truth. Allison was talented, but that alone wasn't enough to survive in the cutthroat world of WWE. I don't need your approval, Allison said, her voice quieter now but still laced with resentment. I'm going to do things my way, Liv. And if that's not good enough for you, then that's on you, not me. Liv stared at Allison for a moment longer, her expression hardening. You don't get it, do you? It's not about approval. It's about respect. Respect for the fans, respect for your opponents, respect for the business. If you want to make it here, you need to learn that. With those final words, Liv turned and walked away, the weight of the conversation heavy in her chest. She had tried to reach Allison to shake her out of her arrogance and show her the reality of the business. But there was only so much one person could do. The rest was up to Allison. As Liv disappeared down the hallway, she couldn't shake the feeling that this moment would haunt her for a long time. It wasn't that she wanted to see Allison fail. Quite the opposite, in fact. But Liv knew that this business could chew people up and spit them out if they weren't ready for it. And if Allison wasn't careful, it wouldn't be long before she became just another cautionary tale. The aftermath. The tension from that conversation lingered long after Raw had ended. Liv kept thinking about Allison as she sat in her locker room, nursing her sore muscles. She wondered if the younger star would take her words to heart, or if they would fuel the fire of resentment. Regardless, Liv knew one thing for certain. She had said what needed to be said. It wasn't about being the bad guy. It was about protecting someone who had the potential to be a future champion. But only if she could get out of her own way. Allison, for her part, didn't take the conversation well. In the following days, she kept her distance from Liv and anyone else who had tried to offer her advice. The pride in her heart had been bruised, and it would take some time for her to accept the truth of Liv's words. Whether she would come to appreciate them or let them drive her further into rebellion was still to be seen. But one thing was clear: the world of WWE was not for the faint of heart. It took more than just talent to survive. It took respect. It took humility. And above all, it took a willingness to learn and grow. As for Liv, she continued to forge ahead, doing what she loved, living her dream, and always pushing herself to be better. She had spoken from the heart, not out of malice, but out of a genuine desire to see Allison succeed. Whether or not the younger star would listen was up to her. But Liv knew one thing. The world of wrestling was unforgiving, and only the truly dedicated would survive. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.